online video coverage of high school sports. This is brought to you by the production of services that are provided by the Edmonds School District CTE Broadcast Production Class. I'm Eliana Rodriguez, and we're live from Edmonds Woodway, home of the Warriors, who will be playing against Mountlake Terrace. Both teams are tied, and calling the game is Steve Willits. Take it away, Steve.
Thank you very much, and we are coming to you live from Edmonds Woodway High School, where the Mountlake Terrace Hawks are doing battle with the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. 0-0 tie. We just had the tip a minute ago. Mountlake Terrace won the tip, turned it over. First shot of the game up by number 5, Brady Edwards, off the mark. Rebounded by the Hawks. And here comes Mountlake Terrace. Now I can't hear myself at all. I can't hear anything, Angelo. Mountlake Terrace with the basketball. Anima passing it around to Altenberger. Lacoste over on the right wing. Hawks looking to set something up. Lacoste driving right to the hoop and lays it up and in. Lacoste with the 2-0 lead for the Mountlake Terrace Hawks. And here we go, Mountlake Terrace now on the defensive side of things as we work out a few technical difficulties. We excuse ourselves for that. Number 3 with the ball, that's Jordan Rice. We'll get to the lineups here as we get caught up since we came onto the air as the game was in progress. Edmonds Woodway with the basketball. 6:26 to go in the first quarter. It's Jordan Rice with the ball over in the right corner. Swings it out to number 5, Brady Edwards. Edwards kicks it back to Rice. Rice is going to put up a 3 ball. Hits off the iron, bounces off. No basket. Derek Anima coming down with the board. And Gabe Altenberger colliding with number 1, Trey Holland, the sophomore. Going to get Holland with the foul. Mountlake Terrace ball out of bounds. First foul of the game. 6:06 showing on the clock in the first quarter. Altenberger kicks the ball over to Lacoste. Lacoste into the lane, kicks it out to Shimron Massey. Massey missing the shot badly. Rebound coming down to Holland. Holland kicking it over to Rice. Rice floats one up. Misses the shot, but he does draw the foul. Be heading to the line, shooting 2. Foul is on Anima, his first.
2.
He's going to put Rice on the line, shooting 2, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Rice missing the first shot, and I think we're all caught up on our technical stuff now, so I can, at this time, introduce Austin McDermott from Mountlake Terrace High School, student at Mountlake Terrace, working for the Hawkeye newspaper. As Rice misses both shots, Edmonds Woodway still looking for their first points. Austin, how are you tonight?
I'm doing very well, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great. A good game here so far. A lot of defense, or lack of offense maybe. As soon as I say that, though, Ryan Lacoste floats one up, his 4th point of the night. He has all the scoring here in the first quarter. Draws the foul, too. He's going to head to the line to shoot the free throw and the bonus. And this trip to the free throw line is also brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Lacoste missing the shot. Anima almost had a shot at getting that ball back, but Ryan Peterson finally able to come away with it. Neither team shooting very well from the free throw line so far. 0 for 3 combined, and here goes Holland for a 3. Swishes that one. Trey Holland, only a sophomore. As again, I mentioned earlier, we'll get you caught up on your lineups here in just a minute. Holland has been the leading scorer for Edmonds Woodway in all but one of their games so far. Justin Hopkins with a nice look at it, missed it. However, Anima there to clean up the boards. Gets that one right underneath the hoop, puts it back in, and the Hawks are now up 6-3.
Yeah, good physical play there by Anima.
Yeah, the junior's been doing that all year long. Shot by Edmonds Woodway, that was number 22. Okirike, he getting his first shot of the night. Ball is down on the ground, and everybody's scrambling for it. Finally, Edmonds Woodway coming up with it. Brady Edwards misses the shot. Edmonds Woodway getting some offensive boards. Finally, Hopkins able to come away with a defensive board for the Hawks, and Mountlake Terrace heading down to the other end with 4:40 to go here in the first quarter. They lead 6-3. Hopkins swings it over to Lacoste. Lacoste looking for Altenberger down low. Holland does a nice job to strip that ball away. Intercepts that one. Kicks that over to Rice. Rice, the junior, looking for his first points of the night after missing 2 free throws. Dangerous pass there to Edwards, and Nima almost able to steal that one away as it's now in the hands of Holland. Holland thought about pulling up, finally kicks it down low. Finds Peterson open. Peterson loses the ball. Turnover, and we'll take this time to get you the starting lineups for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors. Number 1, the 5'9" sophomore guard, Travar Holland. We'll be calling him Trey throughout the night. Number 3, the 5'10" junior guard, Jordan Rice. Number 5, the 6' junior, Brady Edwards. Number 22, Chakuma Okirike. He is a 6'3" senior. And on the other end there, Lacoste can't quite hold on to that pass from Massey. And here comes Holland. And then rounding out this lineup for Edmonds Woodway. So we're going to get a foul called away from the basket. Ryan Peterson, the sophomore, stands at 6'6". He's wearing the number 40. So the Warriors all but one underclassman here for Edmonds Woodway, a young team. Foul was called against Lacoste, his first. Edwards with the ball, gets it down to Peterson, the 6'6" post player trying to utilize his height. Goes for the hook shot, misses it. Mountlake Terrace coming down with another rebound, and Altenberger now brings it up for Mountlake Terrace, and we'll get you their starting lineup here as soon as we can as well. 3:35 to go here first quarter. Rice going for the steal, missed it. Anima getting a good look at a 3. Missed the shot. They're going to say one of the Warriors pushed off trying to get the rebound. So we wait to see who the call is on before we get you the lineups. It's going to be on number 5, Brady Edwards. His first. Mountlake Terrace starting lineup tonight. Earlier it was Gabe Powder wearing the number 11, the 5'8" junior. Derek Anima, number 35, also a junior in there. Ryan Lacoste, number 31, the senior. Gabe Altenberger, number 25, junior. And Justin Hopkins, the senior, number 43, getting the start also for Mountlake Terrace.
Yeah, we just saw that Ryan Peterson got a good block.
Long shot by Holland, puts up another 3, misses it. Ball bounces around. Lacoste coming down with it, looking to push it up the court. Doesn't have the numbers, lays it up. Altenberger goes up, but comes down hard. He draws a lot of contact from Akirike. And Edmonds Woodway wants a timeout. 3:05 to go here in the first quarter. It's 3-6, Mountlake Terrace with the early lead. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
And welcome back. We were off the air there momentarily, and we're back now. Didn't miss much. A couple of missed shots and a foul on Shimron Massey. 2:20 to go here in the first quarter. Low-scoring game so far. Mountlake Terrace with the early 6-3 lead over Edmonds Woodway. This is a league game. A nice rebound by Gabe Powder. The miss by Jordan Rice. Powder checking in for the first time. I read him in the starting lineup earlier, and he did not start. They started a bigger lineup with Shimron Massey, number 41, in there. And now Altenberger looking for his first points of the night. Misses that shot.
Foul zone 31, Ryan Lacoste.
Going to get Lacoste called for his second personal foul. Only the fourth team foul against Mountlake Terrace in the half. So Edmonds Woodway will inbound the ball underneath their own basket.
Both teams already quick to pick up 4 fouls here in the first quarter.
Yeah, 4 fouls, no made free throws yet. They're 0 for 3 combined between these two teams. Only 2 shooting fouls so far. Nice play there by Edmonds Woodway. Unfortunately, Peterson can't finish. Give a lot of credit to Dominic Martinez getting his first action of the night. Nice dish down to Peterson. He just couldn't quite get it up into the hoop. Edmonds Woodway failing to take advantage of a few plays so far. And Gabe Powder getting called for the carry. It's going to turn the ball back over to the Warriors with 1:34 to go in the first quarter. 6-3, Mountlake Terrace with the lead. Early on in this game, a battle between two schools that are not far apart in terms of distance, only about 3 miles. Unfortunately, they were not playing in the same classification the last few years. Edmonds Woodway was playing at the 4A level, Mountlake Terrace with a 3A level. Schools get reclassified based on their enrollment numbers every 2 years. In this particular year, they determined that Edmonds Woodway was a smaller school than they'd been in the past. They bumped down to 3A, and now these schools play in the same conference and in the same division at that, so these games matter. Altenberger down low on the left side, puts one up from the baseline, gets it to roll around, and finally pops off. Boy, the iron unkind of both teams right now is neither one of them has scored in a couple minutes. Martinez pulls up for a shot along the baseline, rims off, gets his own rebound. Nice hustle by Dominic. Kicks the ball over to number 12, that's Benji Perea. Perea kicks it over to number 25, that's Tanner Caraco. Caraco puts up a shot, hits off the back iron, goes flying into the key. Okirike went up for it, and they're going to say he traveled as he came down with the basketball. 33.3 seconds to go here in the first quarter. 6-3. Sounds like the Seahawks and the Cardinals almost, doesn't it? A game of field goals and not a lot of offense.
Yeah, we'll see if final score comes out 19-3 here.
If you're Mountlake Terrace at this point, you'd be okay with that. You'd have the 6 already. I don't think the fans would enjoy that as much, though, as Anima looking for his first basket of the game. Actually, it would have been his second. He misses it. 17 seconds to go. Edmonds Woodway on the other end. The shot clock is turned off. They can play for the last possession here of the quarter if they'd like. Perea with the ball up on top. We're down to 5 seconds to go. Kicks out to Caraco, back to Perea. Perea's going to put up the long three. Swish! Benji Perea ties the game up at the buzzer. It is 6-6 here at Edmonds Woodway. We'll take another quick break. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy. Believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
And welcome back to Edmonds Woodway High School. 6-6 tie. Mountlake Terrace and Edmonds Woodway through the first quarter. Nice floater by number 10. That's Dominic Martinez getting his first point of the night. First points first non-3-point basket we've seen from Edmonds Woodway so far. And they've taken their first lead of the game at 8-6 as they get 5 very quick points there after going, 7 minutes and 58 seconds with only 3. See if they've got something going here. Anima takes it hard to the hole, count the basket, and he draws the foul.
Great finish by Anima.
Boy, when Anima decides to go hard to that hoop, you might want to get out of his way. He's a pretty big fella, strong, and he's not afraid to make some contact as he draws the foul against number 40, Ryan Peterson. It's the second on the big guy. He goes to the bench, and Anima going to the line. And this trip is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Anima misses that shot. Hawks now 0 for 2 from the free throw line tonight. 8-8 tie, 7:23 to go here in the second quarter. That was number 33, Ali Gai, missing the shot. Gai gets it back again. He converts and gets a foul. Gai, a 6'6" sophomore, getting his first action of the night. Going to call that one against Anima, also his second foul. Shimron Massey checking back into the game for Justin Hopkins.
We've heard it a lot this year. Wesco is now a lot younger conference, a lot shorter too. A lot of the 6'7", 6'9" guys, they're all gone. Edmonds Woodway looks very, very primed for a good run in the future.
Apparently the bank is open for Gai. He banks that one in. Yeah, I was just noticing that as well. When you look at the rosters there, nice job by Ali Shaw getting his first action. Got underneath Gai, went up for the layup. Did not get it to fall, however, and Edmonds Woodway pushing on the other end. Their biggest lead of the night at 3, looking for more. They almost turned it over. Karakwa now with the ball in the right corner. Looking to set something up. He's got number 21, Finn Rogan, in with him right now. Rogan now with the ball on the right wing. Down to 13 on the shot clock. Perea with the ball. Trying to find something in the key. Kicks it back to Karakwa. He looks at a 3. Swish!
Terrace running a 2-3 zone, trying to tempt Edmonds Woodway into shooting. And if Woodway keeps shooting like this, it's not going to work.
Steal by Edmonds Woodway. 14-8, the Warriors got off to a slow start, and all of a sudden they're hitting everything they throw up right now. Karakwa, we know he's got a hot hand. Let's see if he wants to try it again. No, he dishes it off. Open shot for Perea. Swish!
Wow. Good separation by Perea. Way to make his own shot.
4 3-pointers for Edmonds Woodway here so far. 17-8 lead. They're now up by 9. Daniel Johnson, the sophomore, in for his first action of the night. He's going to look to go to the lane, floats one up, and gets it to go.
That's good by Daniel Johnson.
Nice job by Johnson. Cut through the lane over to the left-hand side. Floated it off the backboard and into the hoop. 17-10. Warriors looking to get something going here back on the other end. Dominic Martinez being guarded very nicely by Gabe Altenberger. 20 to go on the shot clock. Perea looking over for Karakwa in the corner. Edmonds Woodway is human, apparently. They do miss a 3-pointer here in the second quarter. That would have been a 10-point lead if Karakwa had gotten that one to go. Altenberger being pressured by Martinez, and they're going to say Martinez hand-checked him. And what you were saying earlier about the youth of this team, Edmonds does have 6 seniors, but really when you start to think of who the underclassmen are, Holland's a sophomore, Rice is a junior, Edwards is a junior. Those are their 3 leading scorers this year so far. Ollie Gay and Ryan Peterson, both sophomores, both 6'6", and they're showing that they've got some talent. Boy, this is a team that they could make some noise here the next couple of years. As Johnson almost threw that one away. Altenberger recognized the ball was loose, drives baseline, misses it, but Lacoste there to clean it up.
Basket's good by Ryan Lacoste.
Lacoste with 6 points tonight, 17-12, Edmonds Woodway.
For a 6'1" forward, Lacoste sure dominates the paint.
And we know he's got the athleticism from watching him on the football field. And very quietly gets it done out there. Nice shot by Gai outside. 5th point of the quarter for Gai. 19-12, Edmonds Woodway. Johnson going hard to the hoop. Draws contact from Gai, picks up the foul, and Daniel heading to the line, shooting 2.
Fouls on the Warriors, number 33, Ali Gai.
Gai's first personal foul. 7th team foul. This was a shooting foul, so Johnson will go to the line shooting 2. And this trip to the free throw line as Johnson misses the first one. is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Mountlake Terrace now 0 for 3 from the free throw line this evening. Make that 1 for 4. Johnson gets it to go. His third point. 19-13 Edmonds Woodway. 4:49 left here in the second quarter. See that the Warriors' MO tonight is threes. This time they're going to drive in, kick it back out. Gailly with a 17-footer, very similar to his last basket. He's feeling hot right now. He's got 7 points here in the quarter. Johnson loses the ball. Caraco, the three-point line, finds Rogan down low. Nice play. Easy layup for Rogan. That's a 10-point lead for Edmonds Woodway. Warriors still pressing Altenberger as he tries to get it over the center court line. Finally gets it ahead to Johnson, who pushes forward, forcing it down to Shimron Massey. Caraco got his hand on it right to Gailly, who picks it off. And Edmonds Woodway, ever since trailing 6-3 right before the end of the first quarter, it's on a 20-8 run. Make that a 20-7 run. And Nayland Sood, the coach of Mountlake Terrace, wants a timeout. We'll take a break also. 23-13 Edmonds Woodway. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Hey sports fans, do you want to know when and where your favorite teams in the West Coast Conference are playing? Who won the game last night and what the current standings are? Well, it's easy to find out on westcoathletics.com. The information is entered by athletic directors and coaches, so you know it's accurate and up to date, making westcoathletics.com the place to view official scores, schedules, standings, and photos for all the schools and all the sports in the West Coast Conference. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook and check out westcoathletics.com, the official website of the West Coast Conference.
And we are back again at Edmonds Woodway. Gabe Altenberger booting the ball on the inbound pass. Edmonds Woodway taking possession one more time. Already up by 10 and looking for more. That's Brady Edwards checking back in. Swings it over to Holland. Holland shoots the long three, misses it. Rebound for Lacoste. He's looking to push it up the court for the Hawks. And during the break, you were pointing something out to me that I guess I didn't even recognize in the heat of calling the game here as Massey throws up a hook shot, misses it, gets his own rebound. Only kicks it out to Adam Lorraine, who's in for the first time tonight. Lorraine to Hopkins, back over to Altenberger in the corner. Misses the shot. 3:20 to go here in the first half. 23-13. That 20-7 run that Edmonds Woodway put on, I should actually say 17-7. 3 of them were right before the end of the first. As Rogan gets his fourth point of the night, 25-13. Large portion of that run by Edmonds Woodway was completely by their bench, right?
Yep. Just amazing depth Woodway showing.
Putting a little pressure on their starters, too. Most of them have checked back into the game now. Holland picks up a foul. That's the 8th team foul against Edmonds Woodway, which means Adam Lorraine's going to go to the line shooting 1-1. This trip to the line brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, Edmonds Sports Academy. Lorraine 1 for 4 from the free throw line this year so far. Make that 2 for 5. He gets that one to go. See if he can bring that up to 50% on this next one. Lorraine scoring 5 points the other night in the game against Arlington, his career high. Swishes that one.
Now checking for Mountlake Terrace, number 35, Derek Anima.
Derek Anima checking back into the game as Lorraine hits to the bench. Really an Arlington game that was really surprising the other night. Arlington is an undefeated basketball team so far this year. And the Mountlake Terrace Hawks went up to Arlington and almost beat them. They were a Gabe Altenberger three-point shot in the corner at the buzzer away from winning that game and coming away with an upset. Final score 62-60. Really might have been the best game of the year for the Hawks, even though it was a loss.
And at the opening of the season, Hawks really have scheduled, or Coach Sood rather, has really scheduled a tough schedule for them. He usually does that. Really prepares them for later in the year. When they start getting close to playoff runs, having to contend for that number 1 spot in Wesco, really prepares them.
Yeah, that's a good thing that he's playing a team like Arlington this year anyway, because they are a 3A team up in the north. Does not count as a conference game this year when the North and South play each other, since they will not play an even number of games. However, you might see that team again in district, so you might as well get used to playing them. And the Hawks showed them the other night that, hey, if we need to see you guys again, we've got something for you. Ball out of bounds to Mountlake Terrace. Shot clock down to 23. 2:41 to go on the game clock. Altenberger almost fell out of bounds, kicked it to Massey, gets the ball swatted away. Hawks maintain possession with 17 to go on the shot clock. And so Mountlake Terrace 1-0 on the year in conference play. They're 2-4 overall. However, all 4 of those losses coming to teams outside of the Wesco 3A South. Edmonds Woodway, on the other hand, they are 4-1, off to a very nice start. 4 wins against teams that currently are not ranked in the local power poll. So we get to see what they can do against a high-octane offense, or a team that's considered maybe one of the upper-tier teams in Wesco. Swing the ball out and slow it down a little bit. Their one loss, however, was against Seattle Prep, a team that is, in many polls, ranked in the top 5 in the state.
Always a perennial contender.
Yeah, always a tough team. And only one of Edmonds Woodway games so far has been a game that counts in the standings, and that was the game against Meadowdale, the Rubber Chicken game, in which they won 60-42 last week. You like the Rubber Chicken game, huh?
Oh, yes. Always a good tradition.
Nice job by Okirike, getting on the board for the first time tonight, 27-15. Edmonds Woodway employing that press one more time, and the Hawks finally able to break it. Unfortunately, once they get on the other side there, Altenberger loses control of the ball. Here goes another 3, drains it. Benji Perea, 3 threes tonight for Benji, 9 points for the game. Edmonds Woodway doubling up Terrace right now, 30-15. Anima with the 3. Misses that one. Nice job on the rebound by Okirike. Edmonds Woodway pulls into the key, right at the key, I should say, on the free throw line. Missing the shot was number 4. That was Mark Campanero, looking for his first points of the game. Edmonds Woodway able to get the rebound. 1:18 to go here in the first half. Perea with a 3. Benji on fire. 4 3-pointers for him. 12 points for the game.
You know, I don't think he's missed yet.
And we'll get those numbers at halftime. We've got our statisticians on the other side of the court, and we'll bring you all of those totals. But I think you're right. I don't recall him missing a shot yet either. Zanima goes up and draws the foul. He's going to head to the line for 2. And this trip to the free throw line is also brought to you by our From the Stripes sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Campanera picking up the foul for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors, his first. Anima swishes that one through the hoop. He now has 5 points on the night. 33-16. 6 3-pointers for the Edmonds Woodway Warriors in the first half alone. Again, 4 of which have come from the hands of number 12, Benji Perea. Trey Holland has a 3-pointer, and Tanner Caraco also has a 3-pointer. Missing the free throw there is Anima. Now 1 for 2 on the game from the free throw line. Rogan with the ball. Being trapped, looking to do something. Double dribble. Finn Rogan was looking for a cutter, couldn't find one, and I think during that brief moment where he held the ball, he forgot that he'd already picked up his dribble, didn't he?
Yep, a rare turnover.
48 seconds to go here in the first half. 33-16. Edmonds Woodway putting on a clinic here in the second quarter. 27 points for them thus far. Anima with the 3. Leaves it maybe a little short and off to the right. Rebound comes down for the Hawks. They're down to 31 seconds to go on the game clock. 1 second difference between the game and the shot clock. Doesn't matter as Lacoste is going to float one up from 10 feet out. Gets that one to go. He now has 8 points on the night. Right down on the other end, that's number 5. Brady Edwards going for a layup. Missed it. Mountlake Terrace trying to trim that lead down even more before the half. 15.4 seconds to go. Nima finding Altenberger. The Hawks looking like they might be content to play for the last shot.
And wouldn't you at this point?
Yeah, absolutely. Don't think you want Edmonds Woodway with another chance at more points. As Anima throwing one up from the corner, misses it badly. Down to the final second. The shot is after the whistle, and we've come to the end of the first half. Edmonds Woodway with 27 second quarter points They lead Mountlake Terrace 33-18. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll get you some stats during the Action Jackson halftime show. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or jeffsmar@allstate.com.
If you've been wanting to get back in the game, whether it's basketball or just improving your fitness level, Edmonds Sports Academy is the place to go. Edmonds Sports Academy, believe in the power of play. Call them at 425-772-1901.
And welcome back to the Action Jackson Plumbing halftime report. Steve Willits along with Austin McDermott. We've got Austin running over to get some stats for us really quick. We'll go through the player totals for the first half. Mountlake Terrace first. Daniel Johnson with 3 points. Adam Lorraine with 2. Ryan Lacoste 8. And Derek Anima with 5. That equals 18. Those are your only 4 scores for the Hawks. Edmonds Woodway with 33 points. 3 of which came from Trey Holland, 2 from Dominic Martinez, 4 from Finn Rogan, 2 from Chuck Okurike, 3 from Tanner Caraco. We've got 7 from Ali Gaye, and then, last but not least, our leading scorer tonight with 4 3-pointers, Benji Perea. Perea shooting outside, shooting lights out. One of those 3-pointers he scored in the first quarter, the other 3 all coming in the second. And Edmonds Woodway just beating the Hawks up right now outside on the perimeter. 18 of their points have come behind the arc. And that is the big difference in this game right now. 33-18. Mentioned earlier, Edmonds Woodway with 4 wins so far this season. Fairly low-scoring games at times. Their high score for the year is 64. they can keep doing this, they might just get something going here and break that record for the year. And Austin McDermott just coming back to us right now. And Austin, what did you find out? I know we don't have the actual stats yet. We're going to get those early third quarter. But I know you were just looking over the scorebook. We were looking at Benji Perea's numbers for the season, right?
Yeah, earlier this year, Perea actually, first game of the year for him, he had 12 points against Oak Harbor. Went through a stretch there, he would average about 3 or 2 per game, or 2 or 3 per game, I should say. There were even some games he didn't even score. So this absolute offensive pour from him is pretty rare.
So a 12-pointer the first game of the year. He's already tied that here tonight. Boy, that band is loud, isn't it? We're right behind them. We're right in front of them, rather. They're behind us. And yeah, so Perea matching his season high, and he's not done yet. And again, we do not have the official stats. We're waiting for those out of the locker room. We think Perea might be 4 for 4 from the three-point line tonight. Now I'm going to take a moment here also to point out that if people can hear us at this point, this band is really drowning us out. I will say that I love high school bands, though, so I love the fact that they're here and playing for us, but it makes it hard to talk, doesn't it?
Yep.
Looking at a couple of games coming up. First of all, for Edmonds Woodway, should mention to folks that they've got 2 more games coming up before the holiday break. Tomorrow night, they go to Shorewood. They play a Shorewood team that has a record of 1-5, but they are much better than that 1-5 record. They've lost games to Arlington, Glacier Peak, Stanwood, and I forget who the other teams were, but they're tough opponents. Shorewood really stacked their schedule heavy in the early season, and they're going to be hungry for a win. So that game's tomorrow night. If you're an Edmonds Woodway fan, you need to head over to Shorewood High School, 7:15 tip-off. And then next Monday, the 22nd, 2 very good games. I guess it's a doubleheader here, right in this very gym, Edmonds Woodway High School. 5 o'clock, the Edmonds Woodway boys will be playing Bishop Blanchette. And then following that game, the Edmonds Woodway girls will take on a Bishop Blanchette girls team that's currently ranked number 1 in the state.
Wow.
And the Edmonds Woodway girls also undefeated this year with a 6-0 record, and we broadcasted one of their games last night. And just a team that is loaded with talent, with Jackson and Casper and Fife and a whole slew of players there. Burdette was our player of the game last night with 20 points. Peterson, they are just a loaded team. So come watch that game if you want to see a very talented, 2 very talented squads. Edmonds Woodway and Blanchette. Girls game at 7 o'clock, boys game 5 o'clock. And then Edmonds Woodway is off until they travel down to Auburn Riverside for a holiday tournament on Monday, December 29th and Tuesday, December 30th. Mountlake Terrace, however, this is their last game before the break. And they will be hosting a holiday tournament starting on December 29th. They play against West Seattle that night at 7 p.m. at the Terraceum over at MTHS. We'll be broadcasting that game right here on the Sound Alive Sports Network. And if they win that game, they will play at 7 o'clock the next night against an opponent to be determined. If they lose that game, they will play at 1 o'clock the next day. Or I'm sorry, at 3 o'clock the next day. And we'll be broadcasting that game as well. So Mountlake Terrace, West Seattle on the 29th. And I guess I can tell you that if they win, they will play the winner of Bellingham Lake Stevens. If they lose, they'll play the loser of Bellingham Lake Stevens. So we know, at least we can break it down as to who one of their 2 opponents might be on the 30th. But stay tuned for that. And yeah, a lot of basketball coming our way still this year. We're early in the season. And a couple question marks coming into this year, really. Edmonds Woodway losing the majority of their team that was varsity last year. And they seem to be doing just fine so far.
Oh, yeah, especially from their bench. We saw they went on that 20-7 run without any starters in. Always a key for a team that's looking to contend.
And a scary thought for an opponent. If you are Mountlake Terrace right now, Trey Holland, the sophomore, he's been the leading scorer in 4 of the 5 games this year for Edmonds Woodway. He only has 3 points so far. Normally, if you hold the team's leading scorer down to 3 points, you've got a very good chance of winning a ball game. Yeah. Mountlake Terrace trails by 15 right now.
Yep. Another thing we're seeing, Mountlake Terrace is usually a very defensive-minded team. Coach Sood is very good about coaching defense first. The full court press from Edmonds Woodway has absolutely shut down everything the Hawks can do offensively. They can't even get the ball across the half-court line half the time.
That's something the Hawks have struggled with a little bit this year before tonight. I know against Puyallup last week at Highline Community College during the showcase tournament they played in, Puyallup went to that press in the second quarter after the Hawks were up by 3. and really took advantage of it and built themselves a nice lead just off forcing the Hawks into turnovers. We're seeing that again here tonight.
Yeah. It's one of the weak points of the Hawks. They really don't have a true shooting guard. They have Gabe Powder, but he's still very young. He's still fairly unrefined. But Gabe Altenberger is more of a shooting guard type, not exactly a ball handler.
On Gabe Altenberger, the leading scorer for the Hawks this year, 0 points so far in the first half.
Yep.
So each team's starting, or their leading scorer rather, Altenberger with 0, Holland with 3. And that is our Action Jackson Plumbing halftime report. Third quarter is now underway. The Hawks wearing the dark road uniforms with the ball first. Gabe Powder in to start the second half. Gets it to Lacoste. Lacoste with 8 points already. Kicks it to Anima. Anima from 14 feet. Hits it. Anima now with 7 points on the night. 33-20. The Hawks now scoring the last 4 points. Cutting that lead down to 13. They're going to need a little more of that. Nice play by Holland. Floats into the lane. Just floats one over the Mountlake Terrace Hawks defenders. Gets it to go. His first points since the first quarter. He now has 5. 35-20.
Woodway sticking with the full court press, and why wouldn't they?
And Powder able to break it that time. Anima from about 14 feet out. Leaves it short. Airballs it. Brady Edwards coming up with it. Edwards looking to push. Kicks it down to Peterson. Misses the layup. Peterson had the look he needed. Great play by Edwards to get him the ball. Edmonds Woodway able to come away with it. And Trey Holland is going to draw the foul on the Hawks.
Fouls on 35 here, Anima of Mountlake Terrace, third personal.
Calling that on Anima, his third foul, and that is not what the Hawks wanted in the first minute of this third quarter, is for Anima to pick up his third foul, and that's exactly what happened. Looking to go back down to Peterson. Peterson using that height, floats it over Massey, gets that one to go. Peterson with his first bucket of the night, 37-20, and now Edmonds Woodway on a 4-0 run is still looking to employ that press. Hawks able to break it. They've got the numbers now, 3-on-1. Massey kicks it back out to Powder, intercepted by Holland. Does a nice job to kick it down to Rice as he's floating out of bounds. Jordan very wisely pulls up and sets the offense, drives into the lane, floats one up against the backboard and gets it to go. Rice with his first bucket of the night. We didn't even talk about him at halftime. He was the second leading scorer on this team this year. He went scoreless in the first half. 39-20, Edmonds Woodway out comfortably right now.
And Woodway also playing even more physical. They're noticing refs are letting a physical game tonight. Not dirty play by any means, but a lot of contact in the paint, a lot of contact on inbounds plays. It's something that the Hawks aren't really used to, actually.
And we're going to be a little critical here. I've got to say, some of those, you mentioned that Edmonds Woodway is playing very aggressively. They're taking advantage of the fact that Mountlake Terrace is kind of lazy with some of their passes so far tonight. Just very light bounce passes, and Edmonds Woodway reaching those arms around. And they create a 5-second violation. Edmonds Woodway really playing Mountlake Terrace type of defense, the type of defense we're used to seeing from the Hawks the last few years. Very stingy, and the Edmonds Woodway Warriors are just taking it to the Hawks right now on the defensive side of things. 5:57 to go here in the third quarter. Rice blows right by Powder, lays it in easily. Trey Holland just taking advantage of that situation as he blew right by Powder. And Edmonds Woodway almost gets the steal.
Checking back in for Mountlake Terrace, number 13, Daniel Johnson.
Daniel Johnson checking back in for the Hawks as Powder heads to the sideline. This is a tough Mountlake Terrace Hawks team to figure out. A team that has been blown out a few times this year by Marysville, Pilchuck, and Puyallup and Roosevelt. Lacoste floats one up from 13 feet out, gets that one to go. He now has 10 for the game. And then they go up against an Arlington team that's undefeated, and I was expecting more of the same. They almost beat them.
Yep.
So, of course, my thought was maybe they've turned the corner. Not the case tonight, as Edmonds Woodway definitely the better team right now. Floating that one into the corner there is Okirike. Gets another bucket. He now has 4 points tonight. Edmonds Woodway, impressive to say the least, 43-22. Altenberger from 12 feet out.
Beautiful.
Gets that shot to go, his first points of the night. I mentioned it earlier, he's been the Hawks' leading scorer all season long. Came into this game averaging 13.3 points per game. Hawks getting the ball back right now. 4:47 to go here in the quarter. Altenberger able to break out of the double team. Gets it up over to the center line. Hopkins looking for a cutting. Lacoste gets batted down by Edmonds Woodway. Rice on the other end. A lot of contact there. You could hear the slap. Daniel Johnson prevents Rice from making the basket, but he will send him to the line for two. And this trip to the free throw line also brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy.
You were mentioning earlier, this Hawks team is very difficult to figure out. Something we're seeing, only 2 players in right now were actually even on the roster last season, whether it was JV, varsity, anything. A lot of turnover in the roster. There's a lot of raw physical talent, but as far as refined basketball talent, not so much.
That's a great point, and I hadn't really thought of that angle, but you're absolutely right. We're used to seeing early in the season players who had not played at the varsity level last year, but as you were pointing out, 3 of these guys had not been in the program at all last year. So Rice hits the second one as well. He now has 6 for the quarter, 9 for the game. Yeah, a couple of guys coming over from the football field. Ryan Lacoste for one. And 3 of these guys really playing on that Mountlake Terrace Hawks football team that went to the playoffs this year and didn't get a chance to play basketball until just a few weeks ago. Lacoste not playing at all on this team last year. His brother Lauren has been a starter for the last few years until graduation last year. And at times it does show that they just don't seem to have the chemistry. I believe we're going to get a hand check against one of the Warriors. Martinez, his second foul. First team foul against Edmonds Woodway here in the second half. Only 3 fouls total between the two teams, and we're almost halfway through the third quarter. Nice job by Altenberger to save that one before it goes out. Hopkins down in the corner, gets it back out to Johnson, over to Altenberger. Hawks very patient as they swing the ball around a bit now. Altenberger draws in the defense, kicks it out to Johnson. Johnson almost lost it. Down to 17 on the shot clock. 3:59 to go here in the quarter. That Edmonds Woodway defense is relentless. Peterson gets his hand on that ball, tips it away from Lacoste. Finally coming up with it was Akurike. Edmonds Woodway looking to push. Perea back into the game after 4 3-pointers in the third quarter. Hawks are aware of that now as they've got Altenberger shadowing him. Martinez with 14 on the shot clock. Nice job getting the ball to Peterson. Ryan cutting through the lane, gets the ball, scores the basket. 4 points now for him. 47-24, Edmonds Woodway by 23.
Peterson taking advantage of some lax, I should say, post defense from the Hawks. Something we're seeing from Edmonds Woodway, they're taking advantage of off-the-ball movement, really. The Hawks are kind of standing around there. Altenberger with the lay-in.
Altenberger with a sweet lay-in. He just drove right through the lane and laid it up on the right side. And Karako on the other side misses the 3 ball. Nice job by Peterson. Tips that one to Akurike. Easy layup for him, wide open, 49-26 rather. Edmonds Woodway back by 23. And on the other end, Peterson gets the block. Got Shimron Massey coming back in for the Hawks, as well as Adam Lorraine. Finn Rogan and Ali Gaye coming back in for Edmonds Woodway. Lorraine inbounding the ball, wide open. Altenberger couldn't quite come up with it before Rogan gets over on defense. Otherwise would have had an open look 3. Lorraine with the ball up on top. Finds Lacoste in the key from 14 out, and Ryan floats that one in. Ryan's kind of found a sweet spot there, hasn't he? From about 12 or 13 feet out, he's pretty deadly.
Yep, just a turnaround jumper.
Get a hand check. I believe that's against Lorraine.
That was 21, Adam Lorraine of Mountlake Terrace.
Is in fact the case, his first. Third team foul, and we get a 30-second timeout. We'll take a real quick break. You're watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Clogged drain? Other plumbing problems? Call Action Jackson Plumbing for 24-hour service. Owned by a lifetime Edmonds resident and Edmonds Woodway grad, Action Jackson is the drain cleaning specialist. They can unclog most internal drains for only $99 plus tax. Call 425-877-5601 or visit actionjacksonplumbing.com.
And we are back again. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network, presented by Shoreline Community College. Edmonds Woodway looking very dominant here tonight. 49-28 lead over the Hawks. And, of course, as soon as I say that, I jinx them as they throw the ball out of bounds. They've still got the 21-point lead, though. 2:18 to go here in the third quarter. And the Hawks looking to push it up the court. Ball is floated over the head of Lacoste. Coming away with it is Martinez. I'm going to say he traveled, gives the ball back to the Hawks. So right now the Hawks going with Lorraine, Altenberger, Lacoste, Massey, and Anima. Edmonds Woodway, Martinez, Caraco, Perea. Massey, nice job down below to Anima. Gets the ball to go. Makes the basket, and he's heading to the line with the bonus. Other players in the game right now, number 33, Ali Gaye, and number 21, Finn Rogan. Speaking of Gaye, picks up his second foul of the night. Anima to the line, shooting one, and this trip to the free throw line is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy, and Anima gets that ball to go. Now has 5 points here in the quarter. 10 for the game. 49-31, Edmonds Woodway in the lead. Mountlake Terrace on a 5-0 run. If they're going to get back into it, they need to get something going here very quickly. And that's one way to do it, as Lorraine almost came up with a steal. Ends up going off of his hands and out of bounds, so Edmonds Woodway will maintain possession. Martinez looking to inbound it, gets it over to Caraco. Down to Gaye. Gaye floats one up from about 7 feet out, leaves it short. Altenberger able to come up with it. Nice behind the back dribble there for Altenberger. Kicks it ahead to Lorraine. Massey back to Lorraine for an open three. Connects. Lorraine now with 5 points. Second night in a row he's had 5 points. Second game in a row. Had a three-pointer up at Arlington as well. 49-34, the Hawks with 8 straight points. Not anymore. Gaye with a long two-pointer. His first points here in the second half. He now has 9 for the night. 51-34, Edmonds Woodway. 1:15 to go here in the third quarter. Lorraine to Anima, over to Altenberger. Back to Lorraine, open three. Leaves it short. Pops up into the air. Martinez able to come down with it. And he's looking to push on the other end for the Warriors. Down now under a minute to go here in the third. Kicks it out to Gaye. Another long shot. Another basket. For a big man, he's got a lot of nice touch out there in that 12 to 16 foot range. He's hit a few of those shots tonight. 11 points on the game. Nice diving play by Gaye. Unfortunately, he hits it right back to Lorraine. Lorraine falls to the ground. Give Gaye a lot of credit, though, for the hustle. Mountlake Terrace keeping the possession. However, shot clock is down to 23. 53-34. Trying to force that one in. Caraco with the steal. Gets it ahead to Perea. Perea with the layup. Missed it. Threw it off the backboard just a bit too hard. Martinez able to steal it away from Massey briefly. Batted it away, rather, and goes into the hands of Altenberger. That was almost another turnover for the Hawks. Lorraine on the other end loses the ball. Last touched by the Hawks, and Edmonds Woodway will take over with 20.1 to go in the quarter.
Late in the third, we're seeing some pretty sloppy play from both teams. Both of them wearing down, it looks like. Woodway does have a much deeper bench we've already seen. It'll be interesting how this plays out into the fourth.
And as soon as you say sloppy play, Gaye throws it right by his offensive player. It's going to go out of bounds back to the Hawks. Edmonds Woodway with 20 points again in this quarter. Scored 27 in the second. Not a bad run for them.
Yeah, off the top of my head, I think that's 7 or 8 turnovers in the last 2 minutes from these teams.
Very sloppy indeed as Massey misses a shot from about 18 feet out. Comes down to Martinez once again. He looks to push it up the court. Perea, who had 4 3-pointers in the first half, is yet to score here in the third quarter. Might be playing for the last shot here. 5 seconds to go on the clock. Priya behind the back, floats one up, misses it, and I guess Priya can, in fact, miss a three-pointer occasionally. And we've come to the end of the third quarter of play. Our score, Edmonds Woodway 53, Mountlake Terrace 34. You are watching the Sound Live Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students, to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
Yep. And we are back again. One more quarter to go here at Edmonds Woodway High School. The Warriors leading the visiting Mountlake Terrace Hawks 53-34. Steve Willits along with Austin McDermott. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network presented by Shoreline Community College. Edmonds Woodway looking to run their record to 5-1, and they are 7 minutes and 51 seconds away. However, not the way they did that one, as they a little bit of a push-off. Going to get that one called against Ryan Peterson, number 40, underneath the hoop. He picks up his third foul. Only the third team foul against the Warriors here in the half, so Mountlake Terrace will take it out of bounds. Ryan Lacoste kicks it to Altenberger. Open three. Altenberger called for it, and we see why. Gabe hits his first tray of the night. He now has 7 on the game. 53-37. And that is what the Hawks will need if they're going to get back into this game. Holland with a floater, misses it. Peterson almost came up with it. Powder for the Hawks, able to grab the loose ball, pushing it up. Altenberger wants it again. He's feeling it right now, and he knows if the Hawks are going to get back into this game, they need a few threes. Thought about trying it there as he has Campanero all over him. Going to shoot the long tray. Can't get that one to go. Bounces out of bounds. They're going to say it was last touched by Brady Edwards. Hawks basketball, and oh, by the way, Brady Edwards, there's a name we haven't said much tonight. 21 points against Everett in their last game, an 11-point victory. Edwards hasn't scored yet tonight for Edmonds Woodway, and yet they're still ahead by 14 points. Anima hits the basket. Hawks getting the lead down to 14 with 7:05. We'll take another quick break. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see how much you can save on car insurance and much more, call Jeff Smar. Jeff's office serves many areas including Linwood, Edmonds, Bothell, and Mountlake Terrace. He can be reached at 425-949-7103 or...
And we are back again. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network, brought to you by Shoreline Community College. Hawks starting this quarter off on a 5-0 run, 55 seconds into the quarter. And Austin, if they can keep outscoring Edmonds Woodway by 5 points each minute, they're going to win this game going away. But I don't think that's going to be the case.
Yeah, no, I believe the three-point shooting, the magic touch from Edmonds Woodway will come back here.
They're not going to get shut out this half. And here goes a three-pointer right now. Missed that one badly as Massey coming up with it. The Hawks have a chance to really cut into this lead right now if they can. They were trailing by as many as 23 at one point. It's now a 14-point game. Loose ball on the floor. Comes out to Altenberger. Open three! Swish!
Wow.
Gabe Altenberger. Hawks on an 8-0 run. They've cut in a 19-point lead at the end of the quarter, down to 11 in just 90 seconds. We might have a game here, folks.
There were 4 Warriors on top of that ball, and Anima still found a way to get it out to Altenberger.
Campanero kicks it over to Holland. Holland drives into the lane, floats one up from 12 feet out, misses that shot. Lacoste with the rebound, and the Hawks could get this into a single-digit game here if they can score on this possession. Powder from 14 feet hits it. Hawks have outscored Edmonds Woodway 10-0 here in the fourth quarter as we're looking at 6:05 to go in the game. That 23-point lead is down to 9. Campanero looking to stop the bleeding. Shot is missed. Okirike goes up for it, misses it. The Hawks with another rebound. Stay tuned, folks. This game is not over. Gabe Powder bounces the ball off of his own leg, out of bounds. That was a break the Hawks did not need. You and I were talking at the break about a game we watched at Mountlake Terrace High School last December between the Hawks and the Warriors girls teams. That game was 60-40 with 6 minutes to go. Edmonds Woodway with a 20-point lead, and Mountlake Terrace outscored them 23-2 down the stretch and 1 by 1. Is it deja vu on the other side of the coin here, on the different gym, different gender this time? We'll find out as Powder kicks it over to the corner. Altenberger swings it back up on top. Kicks it back to Powder. We're down to 5:17 to go in the game. Shot clock at 21 right now. Anima with the ball. Looking to get it down to Lacoste. Almost lost it. Picks it back up. Gets it to Anima. Reverse layup blocked by Peterson. Edmonds Woodway on the other end looking to push it. Campanera to Rice. Rice getting Edmonds Woodway on the board here in the fourth quarter for the first time at 55-44. 4:51 to go here in the game. Anima looking to drive the lane. Shoots that one a little too hard off the backboard. Misses the shot. Peterson comes up with it once again. Rice thought about a three. Blows by Powder on the fake. Nicely done by Rice. He now has 6 points on the night. 57-44. And Edmonds Woodway showing that they are a little bit of a streak team tonight. Getting their points in bunches. They now have 4 in a row. Anima looking for Massey. Had Lacoste underneath the hoop, didn't see him. Massey floats a hook shot up, misses that one. Hawks now on their, fourth straight possession without a point. Not what you want when you're down by 13 in the fourth quarter. Edmonds Woodway very content to eat up some of that clock right now. Campanera into the key, floats one up from 11 feet out. Rolls around and drops. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Edwards. Edwards with his first 2 of the game. 59-44. Powder being double teamed. Kicking the ball over to Altenberger. Altenberger finds an open Anima, breaks the press. Kicks it over to Massey. Massey has to pull it back out. Altenberger with the ball out on the wing. 3:33 to go. Altenberger's going to drive the lane, floats one up. Tried to get it underneath the outstretched arms of Okirike. Forced a rough shot. He misses it, and on the other end, Rice goes to the hoop. Doesn't make the shot, but draws the foul. He's heading to the line for 2.
The Hawks have got to get some better ball movement going on here. If they want to have any chance at coming back here with only 3.5 minutes left, down by 15, you've got to move that ball up the court. Can't get caught in that full court press.
And they're getting shots. They're just missing them right now in the last few times down. Missed a good 4 or 5 field goals in the last 3 or 4 possessions as Rice misses that shot in this trip to the free throw line. It's brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. 59-44. Hawks starting off this quarter on a 10-0 run. Since then, Edmonds Woodway with 7 straight points as Rice gets that one to go. That lead that was down to 9 just a few moments ago is now at 16, and it could even increase more as Mountlake Terrace throws that one away in the backcourt. Warriors taking over possession with 3:24 to go. Tanner Caraco looking to throw the ball in. Caraco getting the ball back as he swings it into the corner to Rice. Rice with those bright orange shoes. You can't miss him out there. Nice spin move by Rice. Floats one up and swishes it. Jordan Rice coming alive here in the fourth quarter. 7 of his 9 points have all come in the fourth. 62-44. Nice job by Gabe Powder. Solid defense by Trey Holland, also not to let Powder penetrate into the key. Hawks swinging the ball around right now, looking for something. Not able to find anything coming too easy right now as Powder floats one from the corner of the key. Misses the shot. Edmonds Woodway coming back down with the ball. 18-point lead, 2:35 to go. And what looked to be a very promising start to the fourth quarter for the Hawks, turning out to be a nightmare now as Edmonds Woodway starting to put this game away. Got a 35-second clock, and they're going to be content to use up as much of that as possible. We're down to 9 on the clock. Nice three by Rice. Jordan Rice. It's been his quarter, 65-44. Hawks almost turned that one over. The Warriors now on an 11-0 run. Rice with a steal. A lot of contact, no foul. The refs are really letting these guys play tonight. Lacoste coming up with the ball. Rice going for the steal. Altenberger from the corner. Hits the front of the iron, comes off to Massey with the offensive board. The game is all but decided now with 1:38 to go, and we remind you to stick around after the game. We'll have an interview with our player of the game. Altenberger getting Caraco to foul him on the three-point shot. He's going to head to the line for three.
Fouls on the Warriors, number 29, Caraco for his personal fourth team foul. Gabe Altenberger shoots 3 for Mountlake Terrace.
Altenberger going for his first shot at the free throw line. And again, this trip is brought to you by our From the Stripe sponsor, the Edmonds Sports Academy. Altenberger coming into this game 13 for 15 from the free throw line. That's 87%. Make that 14 for 16 on the year now. How about 15 for 17 as he hits that one?
Check in for Mountlake Terrace.
Not the guy you want to put at the line if you want to hold your opponents down in scoring. I think at this point it doesn't really matter, but for the season, Altenberger about as close as you get to being automatic from the charity stripe.
Yeah, also one of the better three-point shooters in all of Wesco.
Altenberger connecting on all three of those. He now has 9 points for the quarter, 13 for the game. Gets him right back up to his average. He averaged 13.3 points per game coming into the night. And after getting shut out in the first half, we weren't sure he was going to get there, but he does. 1:31 to go here. Edmonds Woodway 65, Mountlake Terrace 47. The win tonight will raise the Warrior record overall in the season to 5-1. We'll give them a 2-0 undefeated record in league play. Mountlake Terrace will fall to 2-5 on the year overall and drop their first game in league play of the year, their first loss rather. They'll fall to 1-1. Another shot by number 33, Ali Gaye. Gaye misses that one. And Ollie Shaw in the game for the Hawks right now, number 23. Getting some action. Daniel Johnson also has checked back in for the Hawks. Anima missing that shot. Massey tries to tip it to himself, cannot come up with it. Finn Rogan coming away with the rebound. Down to 45 seconds to go. And Tanner Caraca with the ball up on top. 33 seconds. Nice job by Daniel Johnson. Gets the steal. 28 seconds to go in the game. Hawks looking for a few more points. Johnson with a nice move down low. Coast to coast. Daniel now has 5 for the night. 65-49. And Trey Holland, the sophomore, not pressing at all as he's just going to let this clock tick out. We're down to 6 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. And that is the end of the ball game. And the final score tonight, Edmonds Woodway 65, Mountlake Terrace 49. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll have our player of the game and wrap it up with some stats. You're watching the Sound Alive Sports Network.
Are you a whiz in filmmaking? Do you want to become extraordinary in filmmaking? Then come to Shoreline Community College and work with Shoreline Productions, where you will learn to transform your work in teams of working professionals and students to create enchanting effects such as green screen, text animation, and so much more. So come to Shoreline Community College, where you can mystify and dazzle in filmmaking.
People assume quality car insurance has to cost more. People assume too much. The truth is, drivers who switched to Allstate last year saved money and got better protection. So get the facts, because you know what they say about people who assume. They pay more for car insurance than you and me.
To see
And we are back again. Final score tonight, Edmonds Woodway 65, Mountlake Terrace 49. We hope people can hear us because it's loud in here right now. And I got to tell you, I've been saying your name wrong all night, and I'm going to blame a couple of your assistant coaches because I asked them for pronunciations. It's Benj Perillia.
Yeah.
Every time you hit a three-pointer, I'm calling you Benji Perillia, but your name is Benj Perillia. More importantly, though, Benj, you are the player of the game tonight. Congratulations on that.
Sir.
Now, you scored. We got people shaking your hands and everything right now. Okay, we'll get these guys out of here right now so this guy can do an interview. So, Benj, tonight, 4 3-pointers all in the first half. You guys got off to a bit of a slow start tonight. Only 3 points for the first 7 minutes and 58 seconds. You guys hit a 3-pointer right at the end of the first quarter. Coach Brown pretty much put in your entire bench in the second quarter. You guys got hot all of a sudden.
Yeah, I think it was just the defensive intensity. The defensive intensity, like we picked it up. Like I feel like that's what separated us in from the second quarter and the first quarter. That's why we got off to a better start and got more buckets in transition.
Now, you personally hit 3 3-pointers here. We might lose you on camera here in a minute because you got your band coming down. You hit 3 3-pointers in the second quarter alone. Did you just feel like you had the hot hand, or was that something you're accustomed to? Did you know you were going to get a lot of threes looks tonight?
No, I was just hoping, if I could get a couple looks, then I got to knock them down. But I didn't know if I felt like in warm-ups I was hella off, but I don't know, it was just going in, so thank God.
Sometimes warm-ups can be deceiving, right? And I guess tonight was the case for you.
Yeah.
What's the season been like for you guys? I know Coach Brown is a new coach. You went through a little transition in the offseason. I know Coach Hopkins was hired and then left before he even started. Coach Brown had to kind of come in here on short notice. A lot of new players on varsity, and I think a lot of us questioned how good you guys would be this year, and so far you're 5-1.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, we've just been coming together well, I guess. But
and playing well and getting those wins, right? Does it help to get some? I know your schedule gets a little tougher as the season goes along. Is it kind of nice that you had maybe I wouldn't call it an easier schedule, but some of your tougher opponents are still to come? Maybe give you guys a little confidence going into the rest of the season?
Yes, sir.
So you'll take that, right?
Yeah.
Now, tell us a little bit also about the game itself tonight here. You mentioned second quarter, your defense kind of got after it. Did the coach kind of notice that maybe that press was going to work tonight? And had he known that coming into the game? Did you guys talk about that?
Yeah, that's the press we usually run every game. So
it wasn't just a Mountlake Terrace thing. That was more of a.
It's just like an effort thing. Sometimes it comes down to effort. And tonight, we showed it in the second quarter, and then that's what allowed us to get ahead.
And stay ahead. You guys won by 16. So I'm going to let you go back and celebrate this with your teammates.
Right.
We're going to get a picture of you first. We can put this on the website. So Benj Perillia with 4 3-pointers all in the first half. He is our Sound Alive Sports Network player of the game. And the coolest thing about this, Benj, you get to keep it.
Hey.
You like that, huh?
Thank you, sir.
All right, well, good luck to you the rest of the season, and we'll talk to you in a little bit. Nice job tonight. So Benj with 12 points on the night, all in the first half, all when they needed them most. And we'll get you caught up on some of the point totals here. I don't know if Austin wants to swing back in here and get on camera with us here real quick so we can talk about this for a couple minutes and then take off. I'll just start reading these off here as we go along. For the Mountlake Terrace Hawks, we'll do them first. Gabe Powder with 2 points tonight. Daniel Johnson, 5 points. Adam Lorraine, 5 points. Gabe Altenberger, 13 points, all in the second half, 9 of which came in the fourth quarter. Ryan Lacoste, 12 points tonight, did not score in the fourth quarter. Derek Anima, 10 points tonight, and that is your scoring for the Hawks.
A little bit uncharacteristic for the Hawks. Normally Altenberger and Anima lead that scoring. We saw a lot early on from Ryan Lacoste. We also saw, unofficially, of course, 10 rebounds from Lacoste. So possibly a double-double night for Lacoste.
That would be his second double-double of the season, so congratulations to Ryan on that. I'm sure he'd rather have them in a win, but at any rate, he'll take that. Looking at the Edmonds Woodway Warriors scoring, Trey Holland, the sophomore, very slow start to the game for him, only 3 points in the first half. Ended up getting 6 points in the third quarter alone to finish the night with 9. Jordan Rice, who really came alive in that fourth quarter, he was held to 2 points for the first 3 quarters. And then he comes in, hits a three-pointer, hits 3 other field goals, and a free throw to end the night with 12 points, 10 of which came in that fourth quarter. And really, he stopped the bleeding for Edmonds Woodway when they looked like they were letting Terrace back into the game.
Yeah, he got hot just at the right time.
Brady Edwards, who we mentioned scored 21 points against Everett earlier this week, only 2 points tonight. Did some nice things otherwise, though.
Yeah, Edwards did a good job. He locked down the paint pretty well. He finished, I believe, 3 blocks. Edwards, I only had him marked down for 1 rebound. I know he had more than that. I lost track on him. But
a nice night, and he'll take the win. Dominic Martinez with 2 points. Benj Perilia, 12 points on the night, all coming in the first half, all from the three-point line. Finn Rogan, 4 points. Chakuma Okirike, 6 points. Tanner Caraco, 3 points. Ali Gayi, he had 11 points tonight, and Ryan Peterson rounds it out with 4. That gives Edmonds Woodway a 65-49 victory.
Yep, it feels odd to say it, but Edmonds Woodway had a very Mountlake Terrace type of night. Pretty even, spread out scoring, a lot of good defense. Full court press worked very effectively. Mountlake Terrace just couldn't beat it all night.
And I'll tell you what, Edmonds Woodway 5-1 on the season.
Yep.
I think they're in pretty good shape going forward. Young team, but they're really gelling right now.
Yep, they've got a deep bench, a lot of youth. They had a lot of energy tonight. We saw them keep up that full court trap press, I should say. Actually, they trapped very effectively. They kept that up all night, kept up high energy, a lot of movement off the ball. It's going to be very key for them. That depth of their bench, if they can shoot like that, even half as well, they're going to go deep.
So stay tuned for that as the season progresses. We'll see how they do. Want to take a quick moment to thank Ileana Rodriguez and Hannah Gradwall, both helping us here on the broadcast tonight, both Edmonds Woodway students. So we always like seeing the students get involved. The Mountlake Terrace student tonight, you, Austin McDermott, great job. Teresa Whipple, we thank you for everything you're doing. And finally, last but not least, Angelo Camo. Nice job as he's Mr. Camo, the teacher, running the camera tonight along with Hannah up there. Nicely done. And at this time, we'd like to thank everybody for tuning in and wish everybody a very happy holiday season. Our next broadcast, December 26th, we'll have a doubleheader from Mountlake Terrace High School. That day, Edmonds Woodway and Mountlake Terrace boys both playing basketball games at Mountlake Terrace starting at 5:15. So tune back in on the Sound Live Sports Network for that. Thank you for watching tonight. Have a good night.
Good night.